Hello and welcome everybody to today's event. We are at Ozarks International Raceway running the Precision Drift Pro-Am layout for today. And we are running it in our Pro Pack beta pack actually. The update to our Pro Pack. We like to release the pack and beta packs in beta and have events with them to kind of see how the drivers like them, how they do in the events and stuff. So it's kind of what this event is today. Excuse me. But I'm Shift. I'm joined with Cupcake today, as always. Well, at least for the past few events, as always. And I'm pretty excited for today's event. I'm sure that Cupcake is as well. Cupcake, how are you feeling? I agree. So, like Cupcake said, these cars aren't made for a track such as this. This track is really designed more for like a 500 horsepower ish car, which is what they run in real life here. So running 1100 1000 horsepower cars here is quite the challenge. But if you can get the tune right and everything, then it's pretty smooth. The cars feel really solid. I was actually having some really good tandems and with some of the guys in practice during the week. So definitely looking forward to the event, the battle today. Unfortunately, due to it being Father's Day, not unfortunate that it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to any of you fathers out there. But due to it being Father's Day, we kind of have a smaller event for today. A lot of the drivers being busy and stuff like that, understandably. So kind of going to be a smaller event for today, but nonetheless should be a good one. I do know that a lot of the guys that showed up today, they were really crushing it in practice. So like I said, definitely looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. But let's go ahead and get the line map thrown up here while we wait for the first practice session to end. So as you see from what you were just seeing before we switch over to the line map, where they start, the left lane leads, the right lane chases. When they come up to that run up, there is a small decel. They're allowed to use that section of the track as a decel, but there is a small decel there on entry for them to kind of settle their car in. There is a center of the track inner clip there where they're going to transition to the first long outside zone, second outside zone technically, but transition to the second outside zone where it's extremely difficult to not drop tire in that zone, where they transition up a hill to an inside clip to another very tight kind of hairpin shaped outside zone to an outer zone, and then another outer zone before the finish line. But it's a super exciting layout, super challenging in these cars, so should be extremely fun to see, so definitely looking forward to it. Our first battle is going to be Trev frame against Slammed. So let's go ahead and get drivers' names up here. This seems like it is still a practice run here, but battle should be getting underway here very soon. And there we go. So that is the light there, the red light indicating that practice is over. So our first battle should be making its way to the line here very soon. Like I said, we got Trev frame against Slammed. I do know Slammed is part of the No Pants team. This is, I believe, their first event with us, so definitely looking forward to seeing these guys. We had a whole slew of them come out today, so for sure looking forward to seeing these guys battle it out today. Agreed. All right, and here we go. We got our first battle. Trev framing the BRZ, Slammed in the C7, and here we go. They are off. Trev frame initiates, filling outer zone 1. Very good. Cutting that inside clip. Kind of tight, though. Little much. Not quite filling outer zone 2 like he should. Slammed all over his door, though. Not leaving him any room. Bumper to bumper on the transition up the hill. Trev frame right on that line, transitioning to the third outside zone. Good into outer zone 4, but Slammed right there with him all the way. Slammed not quite getting out to the last outer zone. Agreed. All right, go ahead and get the replay thrown up there for you guys. Sorry for the camera swap on the second run in that battle. I didn't realize that they were already starting and I was still locked onto the other guy from the previous battle. But slammed with a huge tire drop in outer zone 3. Unfortunate. Waiting now to see what the judges have to say. All right, overall though, not a bad first battle. Definitely pleased with that first battle. And here we got an OMT for our first battle. Look at that. All right, so we get these guys back to the line and run them again for one more time. Oh. Who can't hear you? That's odd. Hang on.
Did Terrence's PC crash?
All right, maybe they can hear you now. Go ahead and speak.
Hi, maybe you can hear me now. Maybe
all right,
not.
yeah, you should be. They should be able to hear you now. Sorry for that, everybody. I don't understand why you wouldn't be able to hear him, but should be all fixed now. It seems as though our semaphore has vanished. So,
and it says that he just left the server. I'm wondering if his PC crashed.
that is what I'm thinking happened. Unfortunately, the guy running our light today, he sometimes experiences computer crashes, whereas a Seto will crash. So that is what just happened. We're going to assume. So bear with us for just a second. We'll be right back as soon as we get everything figured out. Make sure the audio's right, and then get the semaphore back to the line.
All right, I would cut back.
Yeah, we're back.
Oh, sick.
All right, sorry for that, everybody. A little bit of technical difficulties at the start of the event. Usually we have them a little bit later on. Glad to get them done in the beginning, though. Hopefully they'll be the only ones of the event. But anyway, we're back. We're getting ready to run our OMT here as soon as our semaphore gets fully lined up. And here we go. They're off. Trev Frame in the lead again, slammed in the chase. Trev Frame initiates much better on an inside clip this time around. Slam still right there on him, though. And Trev Frame not quite filling out her zone 2 like he did the first time, but better that than a tire drop. Very good on that inside clip there. Not quite filling out her zone 3 like he should. Good in the outer zone 4 like before. And then slammed right there with him. Great in the last outer zone as well.
Yeah, that was a really good chase, by the way, by Slammed. He was doing really good keeping proximity and maintaining.
Agreed. All right, we got him flipped around. Slam now in the lead. All right, here we go. Slam initiates, filling out her zone 1 really well. Very good on that in the first inside clip. Trev Frame right there with him. Oh, give him a little bump. Maybe looking like, but both drivers kept going. Didn't look like any car got upset too much. Definitely a little bit of a weird thing going on there with Trev Frame, though. Yeah, that's what it looked like. Slam, though, with a pretty decent lead run here so far. Not bad at all.
No, not bad at all. Not bad for our first one more time. Definitely looked like Trev had a little bit of some issues in the chase, coming in a little bit on the inside and then also trying to maintain proximity. So he was really trying to play a lot of catch up, and I think that's what hurt him the most overall.
Yep, I agree. He definitely. Sorry, I was trying to get the camera situation for when it comes back. But yes, I agree.
Yeah, I'm glad once we're looking at the replay, I'm glad to see that, you know, where things were good and where things were wrong. So the judges themselves are definitely gonna have to put in some work, but that's their job, right?
It is. Slam, though, definitely better this time around. He had a huge tire drop the first battle, so definitely much better this time around in his lead.
Yeah,
so
no, his lead definitely looked really good comparatively.
We'll see what the judges say.
Shout out to Braden Swan, our now gate guy, VDC, VDM driver. And
yes. Oh, there we go. Slam gets the win. I was just going to shout out the No Pants team for submitting all their own personal liveries. I was going to give it a show close up. We'll see some more here later on, but yeah, all the No Pants guys submitting liveries. Pretty cool thing to see, actually. I'm liking letting guys submit their own liveries.
I am too. I think it's a really cool way to bring everyone's personalities back into Assetto, so it's not just like, oh, well, you have to run these whatever liveries that we made or we had made. So you can create your own livery and have your own car, which is really cool, and I think really helps personalize each driver.
I agree. I like letting the drivers being able to, you know, kind of show their personalities and their liveries. So, but I do believe that his PC just had another. His PC is struggling today. I think he either reset by mistake or his PC just crashed again. Aaron's did our start light. Man. Well, I do believe that one of us we could run up there and do the start light if it's gonna be an issue.
He just left now. You want me to go handle that?
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. The only thing that's weird about it is if the person running the light isn't in the same chat with the drivers, then it makes it a little bit difficult to
yeah.
to kind of make sure that everybody's ready. So we'll see if it happens again. Usually it happens once or twice in event, and you know he's fine. So if it happens again, then we'll have to figure something out, I do believe, because we can't, you know, it can't be in every run type of thing. So if need be, I can go, you know, park up there. You know, we can go back to a quick break. I can go park up there, and then I can operate the light during the event if we need to do that. And I do apologize to everybody watching. We usually don't have, you know, problems this big during the event, so but we're trying to handle it the best way we can. Like I said, if this happens, if this does happen again, then we will find a solution to it so that way it doesn't happen again, which is probably what we should be doing now realistically. But yeah, we do apologize, and we will be getting the event done pretty soon, I promise. Not that big of a bracket today, so
dropped out in chat.
Okay, well, I figured that was probably going to happen. Usually when the event starts out kind of rough, sometimes people do that, so. All right, well, it seems as though we have...
back in.
Seems as though there's another person in the light up at the start, which he will have to move out of the advance, out of that. He's a driver. I'm not sure what's happening.
I'll be right back.
To be honest. Yeah. I do apologize, everybody. Hopefully it's all done, and then he just passed that line of dirt onto Terran. I don't know if you guys seen that jump. The Assetto physics, you gotta love it. All right. Hopefully that will be the last hiccup of the event. Like I said, there's not that big of a bracket, so we should be done within a reasonable time. So, but I do apologize, sincerely apologize for the inconveniences. I don't want to keep sending you guys a commercial break either. So, but it seems as though now we're just waiting for our next battle to get to the line.
All right, sorry I'm back.
No worries. Our next battle is going to be, I don't know what his name is in Discord or in Assetto.
Master in hockey.
Did hockey? I thought hockey backed out.
Yeah, so we're just going to let Master do a quick buy run because it keeps the show running.
All right. Well, you just heard it. Master's going to do a buy run just to keep his tires warm, his seat warm, and then we're going to move on to our next battle, which is going to be Jerk McGurkins against Edvenos.
This is quite a rough start to our fourth competition this year.
Yeah, no, I think this is... We've had more than 4, I believe. Definitely had more than 4.
Maybe 5. I don't know. There's been a lot. All right, we're off. Let's see what he can do in his buy run. Obviously, you know, he moves on either way, but let's see how he does overall. He's doing a really good job filling the zone. Could be a little deeper, but not terrible. Getting that inner clip nice and clean. Let's see how he does in here. A lot of people struggle through here. He had a tire drop there. Looking good. Coming into the outer zone. And last one right here. Nice and clean. Not bad.
Not bad at all. All right. That's going to do it for Masters Buy Run. Our next battle is going to be Jerk McGurkins against Edvenos. So we'll go ahead and get them to the line. Like I said, not quite sure what Jerk McGurkin's name is in Assetto, but that's what it is in the bracket.
It's just Jerk.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Nuke Drop, the creator of Ozarks International Raceway. He's the one that made the track. We made the layout, the drift layout, but he is the one that made the track. Did a bang up job on it. I do know that all the boys over at Precision Drift and OIR definitely like it. So, and
it's a killer track, and he did a wonderful job. All his tracks that I've ever seen through for Assetto are super good.
They are. He does really good work. All right, Jerk in the lead. Edvenos in the chase. Jerk in the 180 in that no pants livery 180. Edvenos in the RX-7 FD. We do have an FC as well in the beta pack. There will be, you know, both FD and FC in the Pro Pack upon release, but Jerk doing a really good job here in the lead so far. Nice and smooth in that 180. Edvenos, surprisingly, really solid lead. That FD, it's a hard one to tame. So big props to Edvenos there for being able to hold it together like that in the chase with that car. I know I was doing some practice laps in it, and the lead, it feels great, but if you happen to chase somebody that's not quite as quick,
fast as you,
yeah, then it's a handful for sure. But it looks like Jerk's got that 180 gripped up. So but here we go, Edvenos in the lead, flicking that into outer zone 1. Just look at the gap he had. That's how much quicker that FD is on the run up. But Jerk making his way back up on the door here of Edvenos. Edvenos with the tire drop in outer zone 2. Not quite deep enough into outer zone 3, and Jerk giving him a little bump right off track. Unfortunate, wow. But it looked like Edvenos might have had a kind of a bobble, some kind of like miscommunication with his car there right before the contact from Jerk. So
we'll have to check the replay, but it looked like Edvenos might have left the starting gate as a hole shot without the Manji, and if that's the case, that would cause a restart, and that run is null and void.
Oh, it would. We would have to rerun that second run back, most likely, unfortunately. But we will have to see what the judges say. We'll let the judges make the call on that one. Yeah, I do see what you say. He kind of did come out of the start gate, guns a-blazing, and we did say in the driver's meeting that we want to see the driver's Manji. We understand that you can kind of just drive straight through them cones like that, with the colliders being the way that they are, but we do want to see the driver's Manji on that initiation, or on the start coming out of the gate, so that way it doesn't leave the chase playing catch up as soon as the run starts. So
yeah, that all that's going to do is just breed bad competition, and that's not what we're here for at ADL. We want to bring everyone together and drive and have a great time. And when you're doing, you know, that kind of stuff just defeats the purpose, unfortunately.
Yeah, you can't have somebody out here trying to just completely run away from their competition. Like, if you're faster than them in drift, then that's one thing. But if you're just trying to run away from them on the start, and it could just be, you know, doing that in practice, kind of just, you know, you not quite thinking when you get into comp, you know what I mean? So
yeah, muscle memory.
It's an honest mistake, you know what I mean? We're not out here blaming anybody by any means, but
no, not at
yeah,
all.
but we can't have stuff like that happen in the competition. So we're gonna see what the judges say. They probably had a better perspective on it with their different camera angles. So
yeah, we got a good staff over here and fill-ins if need be. So it's nice to have people that care and want to help the community, and that's what ADL is all about. Always has been.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate, you know, the guys coming in and helping out. Anybody that comes in and helps out is 100% appreciated. It's not easy running events and maintaining a schedule and everything like that. So to anybody that does it, we definitely tip our hats to you. But you know, having the help is 100% always a good thing. And here we go. We have another OMT.
Wow.
Back-to-back OMTs to start our event. But hey, man, I guess that's just how it goes. We don't have a full bracket, but we're going to have a full day's worth of battles.
That's for sure. Absolutely.
That's how it's looking at least. But here we go. We're going to get them back to the line. We're going to have Jerk lead again in that 180. Edvenos chase him down in that FD. All right, here we go. They are off. Jerk nice with a entry. big flick from Jerk there on the entry. A little bit of a correction from his front wheel as he flicked it so hard. Not sure if you caught that or not, but Edvenos right there with him, leaving him enough room to do what he needs to do, but staying right there in that pocket. Falling back a little bit right there. Being safe in that outside and outer zone 3 is never a bad thing, though. Jerk with a really smooth lead. Edvenos with that safe but competitive proximity is what we're going to call it.
I think it's a good word for it. Safe but competitive.
Safe but competitive. All right, here we go. They're back off again. Edvenos in the lead this time. Jerk in the chase. And as you've seen, Edvenos with a much slower Manji this time, so somebody must have said something to him about it last time. But Edvenos with the tire drop again in outer zone 2. Jerk having to needs some ground, or needs to make some of the ground up. I do apologize. Edvenos not quite filling outer zone 3. Jerk right back up on the pocket of him right before they cross the finish line. Not too bad.
Unlike Edvenos, normally he's really on top of his driving, and it's kind of odd to see him not be, unfortunately.
You know, this just could be one of them tracks that shook him up. You know,
it could have been.
Yeah,
it really could have been.
Maybe he didn't get enough practice in, or struggled to tune the car. You know, I do know that the FD is it's a good car for this track, but I do know that I had to tune it a good bit. You know, granted the base tunes of these cars aren't bad at all, but I'd have to tune it a good bit to get it to feel solid around this track. You know, with it being a rotary, you know, the turbo lag, and you know, you want to turn the turbo down at this track most of the time, but you can't have that much lag with the FD, with the grip that these cars have. So it was a struggle with that car, but I made it work, and it was really only a struggle in the chase. So that's probably why we've seen him playing it safe, so that way he can keep the tires, you know, broken free in the chase. But
yeah, that makes a lot of sense, keeping it conservative, so that way he can maintain his best proximity as possible without pile driving into him.
Yeah, you know, maintain his drift as well.
Exactly.
You know, if you're right up on the pocket of somebody, right up on the door.
Oh, we got a winner.
There we go. Jerk will move on.
Good performance from everybody.
So far, yeah. All right, Jerk gets the win, moves on. Next up, we got Drifting Magics against A Godwin.
Godwin was in our Pro Series, correct?
I'm not sure. The name is very familiar. I thought that same thing when I was reading the name off, but I'm not positive, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, because I thought he drove that Corrado.
I think you might be right.
If that's the case,
no, that was Good Lad that drove the Corrado.
Good Lad, that's what it was.
Yeah.
See, such a close name.
Yep. All right. Here we go. We got our next battle at the line, Godwin and Drifting Magics, Max Yeager. Both drivers in that BRZ
have been killing it in the series so far. They all struggled a little bit last event, so let's see how they do in our pro cars.
Well, this
Good
is
entry into our first zone.
This isn't the Red Bull Racing guys. This is just I think he just happened to pick that livery. But yeah, he did compete last time. Drifting Magics did, but Godwin looking like he is struggling with that BRZ, and Drifting Magics, complete opposite end of the spectrum, just absolute precision lead line there from Drifting Magics.
What an impressive lead. You know, the entry looked good in chase, and it just seemed to fall apart, unfortunately. And that happens. It really does. These cars are not VDC cars, and I love every bit of that. These cars, they grip like they should. They feel like they really do in real life. So I feel this is as close to real driving as you're going to get in the sim. But let's see how Godwin does in the lead. Definitely cuts that real bad. Not really in the zone for there. Got a tire off track. Coming into this inner clip, looked okay. Coming into the outer zone, starting to put it together a little bit. Maybe the nerves got to him. That could be what it was. The nerves definitely get to you when you're competing.
They 100% do, and it could be something as simple as just maybe he forgot to load his tune or something like that too. So, you know, it could be a variation of things.
See how the judges judge this? Man, this is exciting. Nothing like coming out on comp day and commentating and judging and assisting in any way possible. This is such a fun experience and fun time for for me at least, I'm sure a lot of people in ADL themselves enjoy it, and hopefully the guys in the live stream enjoy it too.
All right, there we
And
have
we have
it.
a winner.
Max gets the win. I thoroughly enjoy commentating and judging, and well, not so much judging, but commentating and being able to see all the runs and stuff, and just basically just talk about it. You know, give live commentary over top of it. I enjoy it. I really do. It's a lot of fun. I don't know. I didn't think I would enjoy it. Granted, when I first started doing it, I had a lot of kind of nerves and stuff, and wasn't quite sure about it, but you break out of your shell and you get used to it, you know, and we've had good ones, we've had bad ones, obviously, but overall, I really enjoy, you know, being able to watch the whole event, commentate over it, talk about it. You know, sometimes we have the power to bring people in, you know, drivers, judges, get their input and everything, which is something that we probably should implement a little bit more. You know, bring in some of the drivers, let them talk and hear their perspective about some of the tracks and, you know, event and how, you know, maybe that's something we can do later on. You know, maybe if there's any drivers watching that would be interested in talking, you know, on the live stream a little bit later on about how they feel about the track and, you know, the cars and maybe the event or whatever, then, you know, maybe that's something we can do. But yeah, no, I definitely enjoy it. But right now, what we are doing, we are currently waiting for our next group to come in. That was the last battle for Group A. So
end of Group A.
Yeah, the last battle for Group A. So Group B is going to come in, and we only have 2 groups for round 1. We have 16 drivers for round 1, and then 16 drivers for round 2. Like I said, it is a very small event today. We only had a 24-man event, but we're going to go ahead, and I have to use the restroom, and I'm sure that Cupcake probably would like to use the restroom himself. So while we let these drivers join into the server, get reset, I'm going to go ahead and send it over to a quick commercial break to go ahead and run and use the restroom, let these drivers join in, get a couple laps of practice, and then we'll be right back just after, you know, I'm done doing all this stuff that I just said.
See you guys in a little bit.
welcome back, everybody. We are just finishing up the last bit of our practice. The drivers have a couple more minutes left before we go ahead and send them for their battles. This is Group B, like I said, for round 1. After this one, we'll be moving on to the top 16.
Yeah, there's a lot of variation in cars today, which is exciting.
That is.
B cars.
I was actually going to mention that myself. So I noticed with when we have the street comps and we have the previous elite comps, our current, I guess I can say our current pro pack. It's called the elite pack. There would usually be favorites, basically. Like there would be, you'd notice the same car would be kind of dominant or picked, and it was always like kind of a per track thing. So you'd see a lot of guys pick one car, one track, and a lot of guys pick another car, another track. Excuse me. So
yeah, it was never like, oh, this is the car for every single track. It was very much like dependent on the track, and you would just see everybody flock to the same vehicle. And to see the big variation we have in Group B is super exciting for me as a judge and part of ADL. It's nice to see that people are enjoying the options.
I agree. And there was only 15 cars released with the beta pack, and we've seen not a lot of them, obviously, because we've only seen a handful of battles so far, but in practice and such throughout the week is what I'm saying. I've seen a lot of guys use all sorts of different cars, and that makes me so happy, because it's no longer a matter of like all the cars are liked, you know what I mean? Like guys are willing to drive around whatever, like if they like the car enough, they're willing to drive around, something to pick that car. So it's pretty cool to see. I definitely like it, and being the one that's doing the data and stuff like that for the cars, makes my heart smile. So
yeah, I think we're up to our first battle, correct?
I do believe so. Yeah, no pants coin. Yep, no pants coin.
T-Brex.
Yep.
Yeah, no pants is in the no pants liveried C7, and T-Brex in the A90 Supra.
Yes, sir.
No pants takes off. Get light, slow entry, but it's getting there. A little deep out in the coming out of there. Going into the outer zone. 1 looking pretty good. I mean 2. Sorry, I apologize. Inner clip 2 looking good. Outer zone 3. Nice and smooth like we wanted to see. There we go. We got a little bump though, unfortunately, from T-Brex, and we'll see how he finishes out. Keeps his composure.
Oh, and then T-Brex with a
reset.
Yeah.
Did he leave server?
I'm not sure. If he didn't leave the server, then we'll go ahead and we'll allow Coin to get a fresh set of tires as well. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
It happens. Force of habit.
Driver got timed out.
He got timed out. Like
yeah. But he's back.
Okay.
Sure. Interesting. Wild. Well, here we go with T-Brex in the lead. This A90 is so cool to see the little big old Max V8 freaking dual air cleaner. Enters in outer zone 1.
I personally love the idea of the Mass V8 A90. It's definitely unique. It drives really good, especially huge
big lag spike.
Yeah, big lag spike. Very big lag spike. Lots of net code there from T-Brex. Oh, and then he just loops it right at the end. All right, very unfortunate there for T-Brex, I think that was.
Yep, T-Brex was our lead with the Supra. Yeah, it definitely looked like he struggled throughout most of the zones to try and keep everything together.
So what it looked like a lot of his issues came from most likely his looked like bad connection.
Probably. We do have a lot of people from all over the world coming and driving in our series, which is fantastic.
Oh yeah, drivers from everywhere are always driving at every event. You know, we usually have drivers from Brazil, Spain, Portugal. You know, it's awesome to see. I love it. But all right, there we go. We got Coin. He gets the win and moves on. Very unfortunate for T-Brex. I hope that does not discriminate. I was gonna say discriminate. Discourage you from coming back to any future events. Our next battle, though, is going to be KLA No Name against Luis Anata. KLA No Name, I think this is like his third or fourth event with us, and Luis Anata, I believe this is his very first event with us.
I think this is Lewis's first event. If it's not, this is his second. But No Name has definitely been in at least 2 or 3 for sure.
Yeah. He has. Always exciting to see new guys and returning guys.
I'm a big fan of the Star 34.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And KLA No Name just super fast out of the gate, just giving it the whole shot. But Luis Anata thankfully able to keep up with him. So no harm, no foul there done by No Name. Luis Anata, one of the very few guys, I think maybe the only guy to pick the SY97, which is the only live axle car in our packs. You heard it right. Solid axle. Oh, they're shutting it down.
Well, I think the solid axle issue could have been the reason why that car wasn't picked as often is I think due to the solid axle with the CSP update from, what was it, 2.10 until the recent one of 2.12, there was a big issue with it not working appropriately. So we were having a lot of issues with it, and as a overall conglomerate of ADL, we decided not to change it and just let everyone know they had to run a lower CSP until further notice. So that could have been the reason why.
Yeah. Well, also it just drives way too good to change it, you know. And I'm glad I'm glad they got it fixed so that way you're able to run it on the latest CSP. But yeah, the car drives so good. Definitely I think it's going to be one of the favorites. Once this pack gets fully released and everything is all set and done and it's up on Votion and stuff, I think the Mustang is going to be for sure a very popular choice.
Well, and the Mustangs themselves overall have really made a huge impact in the American drifting scene, period. So to see, the ability to have, I believe we have the S197 and an S550, correct?
Yes.
So to have both versions of that Mustang in our Elite Pro pack allows for people to be like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm a big Mustang supporter and I like this. So it's cool. It's definitely nice to give back to the community the option to have different choices. Because, I mean, take it for example, like other packs only have one Mustang or one of something. So to have a little bit of multiple.
Yeah, we're gonna have two. We're gonna have the S197, which will come with, like we said, solid axle data, and then the new Edge, the SN95, will come with IRS suspension in the rear. So
that's what it was. I apologize. It was not an S550.
All good, man. All right, we are waiting for the judges to get back with us, if it's going to be No Name or if it's going to be Luis Anata. I think it's going to come down to what happened exactly in that first run where both drivers kind of incompleted. I'm not sure if there was contact there which caused the oversteer or if it was just oversteer. Either way, both are very easy to do in that section of the track. So, but there we go. We got No Name getting the win. No Name's going to move on.
Not bad, not bad.
Very unfortunate for Luis Anata because he did have such a killer lead. He filled the zones nearly perfectly, which he's one of the very few drivers to do that today. So, but up next we got Cubkib against Siraj Mira. Cubkib coming back. I think this is his second or third event. Siraj Mira, I do believe, first event ever. So we got two very first timers. Three,
new drivers,
four. Looking at the bracket, we got 4, 5. So we got a lot more than that, actually.
Yeah,
so.
all the no pants guys. This is their first event as well.
Yeah, so
that's 4 cars. So it's exciting. A lot of fresh people.
Yep, here we go. We got Cubkib in the lead in the S15 in that personal livery that he sent in, which is super sick. It's all black and chrome. It looks really good. Siraj Mira in the A90 in the chase. And Cubkib looked like he was super hard on the left foot brake, just choking up Siraj Mira, letting him, you know, not giving him any room to open up that V8. Oh, Siraj, a little greedy on that transition, giving Cubkib a little bit of a kiss there. Siraj going for the pass. What is happening?
GP stuff. Oh my goodness.
This is exciting stuff. This is like Road Atlanta with dang, I can't think of his name right now.
Was it Adam LZ and
Adam LZ and
Federico?
Sharifo? Yeah.
Did Adam LZ go yet?
Yeah, did LZ go yet? Oh, Siraj, a little wavery there on the start, but here we go. Drivers initiate. Siraj filling outer one pretty good, hitting inner one nice and a little tight, but not too bad. Cubkib definitely has some ground to make up there. Siraj nice and smooth so far in the lead in that A90. Definitely a good car once you're able to open it up, but so much mechanical grip as you've seen there. Just so much side bite from that car just naturally. So and Siraj just completely running away from Cubkib there at the end.
If you ask me, I feel like it's going to go one more time. That's just my personal opinion. Seeing the mistakes from both drivers really showed that there's a lot to clean up, and hopefully the judges see that as well. This is exciting stuff overall. I think there's a little bit of confusion at the light or at the gate. That's fine.
Yeah, so I'd be interested to see exactly what happened on the first run on entry, where Cubkib looked like he definitely, it looked like he had used a lot of left foot brake, which, you know, left foot brake is okay on the entry, but he used a lot and he still didn't get that inside clip like he should have. Choked up Siraj a bunch. Sorry, I can't talk today, everybody, but it choked up Siraj a bunch, and then I think Siraj was just trying to like make up for it, you know, thinking that maybe he might have been knocked for it. So he was trying to make up for it, got a little bit too greedy, and then kind of bumped him on the transition going up the hill. So
agreed. I also feel that it could have been another one of the Manji issues from the start gate. It looks like Cubkib kind of just gave it the whole shot and didn't really give enough of the Manji flick that we were looking for, that we talked about in the drivers meeting and earlier on in the stream. So that could be a potential reason, and I guess it is not.
All right, there we have it. Cubkib is going to get the win.
Look at me sounding like Jacob Gettings.
Well, I mean, we can always speculate on what happened. I think we're
absolutely.
I wouldn't quite call us Jacob. Even though some guy was pretty adamant last event that we were both Jacob Gettins somehow. So
no, someone said that I was what's his name, Jared Deanda, because I said something about whatever the wall.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I'd prefer not to relive that moment again. But here we go. We got our next battle of the line. It is Pufa against MZ Intex. Here you go, Pufa in the lead in the 180 in that personal livery. Lots of guys taking advantage of the personal liveries, and I am loving it. Some of them are really, really sick. But MZ Intex in the E36, which got switched to a V8 actually. No, definitely not. Glad to see MZ Intex back. He did come to the last event, but unfortunately we had a full bracket, so he wasn't able to compete. But he was here in the drivers meeting still, so huge props to him for that. That was really cool. Glad he came back and competed in this one.
We had a reset. Hopefully we can get Pupa to do a reset as well.
It said MZ Intex disconnected from the server.
Oh.
So I'm hoping he didn't get kicked. I'm thinking is what happened. He got kicked.
Oh, does he not have the thing where he can't drive backwards?
Probably not. Which is a
new
big
behavior.
Yeah, which is a big problem at this track. If you don't either rename the AI file or do the new behavior, then yeah.
That wouldn't have made him get kicked though. That would have gave him a penalty.
Well, it's only going to give you so many penalties before it will kick you. So if he, depending on how many laps he ran in practice, could depend on, you know, whether or not he gets kicked now. So
we do have commentation that he is joining back into the server right now.
Definitely with some Jacob analysis. Where are you at? Why ain't you competing, CJ? What are you? It is Father's Day. I ain't gonna hate. Happy Father's Day, bro.
I do feel bad. It was definitely some Jacob nonsense going on over there. I'll make sure that I don't sound like him anymore. Speaking of commentators, I'm not a dad, LMFAO. That's so funny.
Hey, you want to know something? The community don't know this yet, so this is. I'm gonna be a dad soon, everybody. I know
Yes,
there's not a lot of people watching, but yeah, for those of you guys watching, I'm gonna be a dad.
Those 36
soon.
people, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm pretty excited. I'm
excited for you.
I'm very excited.
We have another
Thanks, man. Thanks,
another
guys.
drift guy. Oh, it's Bridger. Bridger made it onto RDC as for the streets for the tandem stuff.
Awesome. All right, here we go. We got MZ Intex in the lead. Pufa in the chase. MZ Intex letting that V8 sing. Oh, awkward slowdown there. Pufa giving a little bit of a bump, but no harm, no foul done. Yep, both drivers stay on course, stay on line. Both of them trying to finish out this run. Oh, a little bit of a contact look like there from Pufa. Not letting MZ Intex transition.
Yeah, it looked like he wasn't able to let him transition, and he kind of like shallowed up, or gave it a lot more angle, trying to close the gap, and it just didn't work out for him, unfortunately.
Not quite sure if it's Team Blue or Team Pink yet. Not far enough along to know for sure. We have our thoughts, but we don't know for sure yet. But thank you, everybody. I appreciate it a lot. I will do my best. I know that much. That's all I can do.
Oh, we think you're gonna be a great dad. Don't worry.
Thanks, man. Thanks. All right. Well, anyway, this last battle was okay. Nothing really too much to report about. It was kind of, here and there, but still a good battle nonetheless. Glad these guys showed up. To duke it out in the ADL stage.
These are one of the oldest cars in the pack as well, which is nice to see them still out getting used.
They are. They were part of the original pack. That is true. They were here on the OG pack. So, but yeah, we're actually gonna have two E36s in our pro pack. We're gonna have a V8 one and a 2J one, and then I haven't told my staff this yet, but we're also gonna have a V8 S15 and a V8 or a 2J S15. So they're just finding out about this
right now.
Yep. Yeah, right now. I haven't told anybody about it. I don't know. I changed my mind a lot, but I made up my mind about that.
Well, I approve. I like the addition of V8 cars.
Also, since we're doing spoilers, the blower S13, for those of you guys that enjoy that car but don't enjoy the blower being in your way, there is an animation coming to that car where it's going to have an air collector attached to the top instead of the blower. So you'll still have a little bit in your way, but it won't be, a whole blower in your way.
Well, yeah, so it won't be the entire, the blower will still be on there, but it won't be that big injection, top fuel hat. So that's getting taken off, and they're adding a smaller air filter style thing that you would see. So the sounds will be turned down, CJ, don't worry. All the sounds will get a major adjustment because they are aggressive. And we have a winner.
We do. MZ Intex is going to get the win and move on. Congratulations, my man. Glad you showed up. And that's going to conclude our round one. Now we're going to move on to the top 16.
Wow, that went fast. That's exciting.
That did go extremely fast. So we're going to see a lot of new faces in the top 16, 8 to be exact, because of, how many buy runs, or not buy runs, but I guess you can call them buy runs, but they just automatically advanced due to the way the bracket got set up. So first battle, we're going to have Budro against Slam. After that, we're going to have Auggie against Master. Then it's going to be Drift Salsa against Drift McGurkins. And it's going to be Chucho against Drifting Magics for our round, or for our group A battles. Group B is going to be Curiosity against No Pants Coin. After that's going to be Havoc against No Name, and then Sai against Cubkib, and then Hassan against MZ Intex to close out top 16. I'm super pumped. I'm super excited just from the driving so far and round one. You know, usually the battles get better as they, you know, progress on. I know that, like I said, we're going to have a lot of new guys competing. You know, every battle's going to have a new guy in it, but I'm still super pumped. The round one battles seem to be doing good. The guys were utilizing the practice server, you know, set up alongside of the main server. Then we should be seeing some pretty good battles here.
No, absolutely. There should be no reason why anybody is going into battle cold.
No, there shouldn't be realistically, because, you know, we do have another practice server set up, the exact same temperatures and time of day and stuff. Actually, now I'm thinking about the time of day might be slightly different, but everything else is exactly the same. We'll give you guys an overhead view of the track instead of sending you guys a commercial this time. We'll hang out and chat with you guys. But while we're waiting for this group's practice to end, we're going to go ahead and give a shout out to all of our sponsors. Obviously, number one, we're going to give a shout out to Revolution Drift Club, Cupcakes, the guy here with me. That is his drift team. He is the owner of it. It is also the like grassroots street style drift team for ADL. It is like, it's an extension of ADL, as well as Team Pure. Team Pure is more focused around the pro competitive, you know, 1,000 horsepower car side and everything like that. But then we got ATDT, our longest sponsor ever. It actually all started with ATDT drift cars back when ADL was in its infancy and still just a baby. We actually used the street cars that ATDT made, and they became our very first sponsor because of it. And we love those dudes. They're a great group of dudes. Got a bunch of servers set up. Always, you know, oodles and oodles of servers set up. So be sure to go check them out. Follow them in their Discord. Then we got BDB. I believe they would be our second longest sponsor, but they're also super great group of dudes. They're all focused around the more lower horsepower, the Matsuri, the street, the Toge, stuff like that. And they're always building stuff and having fun. And they're, like I said, they're a good group of guys to hang out with. And they're also hosting a Matsuri here coming up in next month.
July. Yep.
Yeah.
July 27th.
Yep, so be sure to go check it out. You can submit your own car for it. It should be lots of fun. They're always a hit, those Matsuris, so be sure you go check it out. I'm not sure if the driver list is full, but it could be, so if it is, then I apologize for sending you that way. But
oh no, they opened up a second day.
Oh, well, look at that. That's what I'm saying. That's how much of a hit they are. Those guys, they kill it, man. They kill it every time. Big love to those guys. But Sleight of Hand also, their IRL drift team, as well as a sim drift team. They're our latest sponsor, along with Pods Mods. We got kind of those sponsors that are around the same time. Pods Mods more focused around innovating the game and bringing all this stuff, you know, like unseen in Assetto before. Tracks, physics, everything. And
a really nice guy overall. Like, super cool to drive with, and his mods are super exciting overall. Like, behind cosmic physics and everything else that Pods is doing, there's a lot of really good things coming out of his camp for sure. And, you know, I can't say enough good things about Sleight of Hand. They are personal friends, as it's turned out to be over the internet, and overall just really good group of guys that all they want to do is get doors with your friends. So it's exciting to see that kind of excitement and atmosphere in Assetto drifting these days.
It is. You gotta love, you know, friendships like that and guys like that are always, you know, they love drifting. That's it. That's all it is. They just love drifting. And then we'll go ahead and last one we'll shout out for the day is gonna be Vosen. Who can forget about Vosen? It is where you want to go for sure to get all of your drifting stuff, cars, tracks, whatever it is. There's other websites, but nobody has them quite like Vosen does. So be sure to go over there and check it out if you don't already know what it is. I'm sure everybody knows what Vosen is, but in case you don't.
Hey, so I know the drivers can't hear me, but can you all stop hitting us, please? Holy cow.
I'm sure some of them can hear us, but yeah, my wheel is going berserk from time to time too from guys hitting us. So, but it's okay. It happens. Some events. But
Yeah, well, I'm
just
moving
a
off the track.
just a minute left here in our practice session.
What was that legacy?
That caution light is?
You asked a question. You said my name.
He just said, "Hey, Cupcake." He just said, "Hey."
That's exciting. People know me.
All right, our first battle. Once this practice is over and we get our battles back underway, our first battle is going to be Budro against Slam. Slam coming over from round 1. Budro getting that automatic round 2 spot. Big fan.
Big fan. That's what's up. I'm a big fan too.
When's the full pro pack release? CJ, I don't know when the full when the pack is going to be released, due to lots of things going on at this moment. I got working a bunch and stuff, so I don't know. I'm going to try to have it done as quickly as possible, but there's a good chance that it's going to be a while, but it is what it is, man.
We'll keep updating as we go, and releasing it as beta until it's fully released. Unfortunately,
yep, it's kind of how we're gonna have to do it.
Yeah, life is life. CJ is now on my no friends list.
All right, here we go. Our first battle of round 2, Budro in the BRZ against Slam in that C7. Budro crossing over that line on initiation, not a good thing to do. Nice and wide on entry. They're giving Slam lots of room to tuck up in that pocket and get on his door. Budro fell in outer zone 2, very nice. Could have been tighter on the inside clip 2. Coming out of outer zone 3 just a little bit early, but not too bad. Getting late into outer zone 4. And then hitting outer zone 5 just like he should, and Slam staying right there with him the whole time. Good runs,
I would say
guys.
besides the issue with the crossing over the no-go line for the lead driver, that was actually a pretty decent lead run.
It was a really good lead run, I would say. Here we go, we got Slammed in the lead this time. Budro in the chase. Slam with a big fast flick on initiation there. I didn't hear really any throttle. He didn't let off throttle much on initiation, so...
No, not at all. That was definitely a huge flick that led right into Budro kind of taking a step back going, oh no, what the F happened here?
Yeah, he kind of just... It left Budro having to play catch up as soon as the run started, I think, because I don't think he was expecting him to, I don't think Slam even pulled an handbrake. Excuse me.
Didn't look like it. That looked like a straight, just a straight flick right into where you wanted to go, as I'm over here trying to think of my thoughts.
Yep, but definitely unfortunate for Budro there on the second run. Not quite sure what happened, but making a mistake.
Shout out to the personal liveries out here. Killing it.
Yep, Budro submitting his own personal livery. Absolute stunning livery, I would say. Very nice, very simple, but very, very nice. And Slam getting the win, moving on.
Congratulations.
Very unfortunate for Budro, man.
Hopefully
you come out in the next one, man. Sick looking livery if you're listening, if you can hear me. Awesome livery. No, CJ, nobody is releasing. You get out of here with that nonsense.
Legacy asked, "Do you know when the baby is due?" Obviously, you know, but are you going to
due date is December 27th, but that can obviously change.
Wow, might have a Christmas baby.
Yeah, it could, or we could. But here we go. We got our next battle at the line. We got Auggie or Auggie. I'm not quite sure. We got Auggie against Master. Both drivers submitting personal liveries. Yeah, I think Auggie is the only one running the AD. Aside from Tim Surya, He submitted a livery for the A80, but I don't think he is competing in today's event. I'm assuming due to it being Father's Day, but yeah, I think Auggie might be the only one today. Wow, that looked like there might have been contact there. I'm not quite positive, but both drivers kept it together nonetheless. Auggie with a baller lead run here. He was absolutely lock to lock almost the whole run.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a killer lead run. Let's see what Mister can do in the lead with clean air.
All right, here we go.
Out there. A little tight on the inner clip. Pulling out to the outer. Let's see how he does out here. Looking real good. Big left foot brake. Ooh, with a big hit. Let's see what happens with the judges over there. That was crazy to see. Looks like he might have just been going in a little hot and had to check up and make a correction, and it just might have been too much. It's a bold move, Cotton. Bold move.
Yeah, we get the replay thrown up. We'll see. Yeah, it just looked like a little too much of a slowdown.
Big oof. I love the replays that we got going on our live stream. It's very exciting to be able to see both runs side by side.
I'm digging them too. I'm digging them too. I'm liking the replays. Glad we got them working. Glad we got it figured out. I know that it was a struggle there for a while, banging our heads, trying to figure out a way to get it to work, and it was right in front of our face this whole time, and super simple almost, you know. So if there's anybody out there wanting to know how to implement this into their stream and they use OBS, I got you. Takes a little bit of work on your end, you know, during the stream, but it's okay. It's not a lot. It's not a lot at all.
It really makes your stream quality overall just a lot better and more fluid and looks professional. So.
Yeah, you know, you don't got so much awkward, you know, camera movement on the stream, you know, so.
Yeah. Absolutely. Big decision time. Taking a little bit of time over here. Oh, here we go. We got a winner.
There we go. Auggie gets the win and moves on. Congrats, Auggie. The No Pants guys coming out here and absolutely crushing it today.
Yeah, they're giving out a strong showing, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think we got another one coming up next. Jerk McGurkins and Drift Sauce up next. Ask Chris Fix. Yeah, I know a few FPV drone guys as well. It's something I thought about implementing, like in the replays. I think it would be cool for sure.
Yeah,
we might hire somebody to do it, and then see how it goes. Here we go. We got our next battle. We got Jerk McGurkins against Cody.
Jerk getting left behind a little bit out there.
Yeah, Cody just leaving him on the run up there. Sorry for the awkward camera there, guys. I was locked onto the wrong person. Was not aware. Oh, Cody looking like he's having a little bit of a problem there in the lead. Jerk give him a little bit of a contact. See what they can do on the flip around.
Yeah, Jerk looks like he tried to do as much as he could to try and maintain, but you know, between everything that was going on, it looked like he had some struggles. But let's see how Jerk does out in the front with clean air and getting that little bit of a slow up. Oh goodness, there we go. Entry
Cody
in.
all over Jerk on entry.
A little late coming into
Oh,
outer two. Whoa,
more contact.
that's a big hit.
That was a big hit. All right, so definitely lots to pick apart in these 2 runs, I would say.
Yeah, definitely a lot to go through. Hopefully, I'm not worried about it. I know the judges are going to do fantastic. Heard some crazy stuff about judging last night from one of our longtime ADL companions, I guess is the way I'm going to put it. Wong, ADL Wong, or Lester, as I like to know him, made some comments about other competitions judging. So we'll leave it at that.
I was gonna say we will get into the who's and whatnots of that a little bit later on, because now I'm kind of interested and I want to know because I'm nosy.
Yeah, no, it's just something I don't want to, completely air out on the stream, obviously.
Oh yeah, no.
So, just it was very interesting to hear what I'd heard, unfortunately. So, we'll see what's going on from there. Overall, though, I think we're doing good. Our judges are definitely doing a fantastic job. I agree with every call so far. So,
I do agree. I think our judges always do a good job. I do believe there's only been a handful of times where I've kind of had like scratched my head on a call, and after the event was over and I went and talked to them about it, if it bothered me enough, then there was always a reasonable explanation for it. So, but anyway, we got it one more time on our hands, so we're gonna have Cody and Jerk McGurkins run it back.
Cody's going to go out and lead again in that wonderful liveried BRZ. Sorry.
Yep, he is sharing a livery with Cody. There's only very few, Budro, I'm sorry, very few differences between Cody's livery and Budro's livery, but here we go. Cody initiates. Jerk trying to find that pocket. Oh, a little bit of an over-rotation there from Jerk, and Cody just pulling away from Jerk, trying to make that proximity back up. Can he tuck back in the pocket? We'll see if he does, but Cody laying down a pretty solid lead line here so far. Nice and smooth, nice and precise. Very unfortunate from that mistake with that mistake from Jerk.
Yeah, Cody's spotter definitely let him know, like, hey, you need to take a deep breath and run this appropriately. You can do it.
Yeah, he definitely got some good advice from last battle to now. But here we go, Jerk in the lead this time. Cody in the chase, and Jerk going full send, leaving Cody behind. Cody having to cut that inner clip to make up the proximity. Jerk not quite filling outer zone 2 like he should. Cody being safe, not quite filling that pocket like he wanted to. You could tell a huge cut from that inner clip there from Cody. Jerk right on the line, just paying it with his rear tires. Nice and smooth and fluid, and very a lot of angle there from Jerk. He was going after that big baller lead run to really wow the judges.
I don't blame him. Sometimes you got to go out and just show out. So,
yeah, I mean, especially if you think that you're at a deficit.
Yeah, there's nothing you should be leaving on the table at that point. You should throw everything out.
You should be going out there throwing the most gangster line you possibly can to choke up the chase driver, as much as possible, just to see if they can't match your line or not. There's nothing wrong, I say, with running a gangster high angle line, lock to lock, edge to edge, track edge to track edge. There's nothing wrong with running that. I'd much rather see that over the guys that are super fast, and shallow angle.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Nothing wrong with that style either, but it's just, like I said, preference of what I'd like to see. I like to see that style. But granted, it is super hard to run shallow angle and be fast. That kind of driving style, it's
its own animal. It really is.
Yeah, it's a talent to be able to do that. It's not easy. All right, Cody getting the win and moving on.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy to think that, these cars are out here making 11,000 horsepower, whatever it is, 11 to 1,000, and they are putting it on every line that we need them to put it on in a track that's made for 500 horsepower cars.
Oh yeah, it's not an easy track by any means for these cars at least. It's much easier, you know, in
Street
lower
cars.
horsepower cars. Yes. Here we go. We got our next battle at the line. We got Chucho against Drifting Magics. Chucho in
Not
the
CJ.
E36, Drifting Magic in the BRZ.
We have a question about what engines in the BRZ as well.
Here we go. Chucho a little wide on that inside clip, but very smooth and fast so far from Chucho there in the lead. Drifting Magics has a little bit of work to make up in that for that proximity. Chucho also a little bit of a correction error in outer zone 2, it looked like, but absolutely running away from Drifting Magics there. I'm not quite sure what happened, but definitely seemed to just run away from Drifting Magics there towards the end of the track.
Yeah, it looked like Drifting Magics was really trying to close the door and really had a lot of trouble trying to maintain that proximity with the amount of grip that that car has.
All right, here we go. Max in the lead. Big flick there from Max. Chucho right there on his door there, tucked right in the pocket perfectly. Oh,
Wow.
Chucho with a little bit of a stumble there on that transition. It looked like almost choking himself up, but somehow able to stay right there in that pocket. And Max throwing an absolute heater lead run. A little bit of a tire drop there. I don't know. It was definitely one tire. Not quite sure if it was two, but Chucho right there with him the whole time. Impressive stuff, boys.
That was a clean lead run, and definitely Chucho out there laying it down in the chase.
He really did.
What engine is in the BRZ again? Shift?
So it's funny. Nobody's asked me that question, but it's actually a Porsche engine that is in the BRZ. A modified Porsche engine.
Look at that. And this E36 has the V8 in it, correct?
Yes, it is a LS.
Oh, I guess Chandler guessed that it's a Porsche engine.
But this version is going to be the E36. So we're going to make this one back to an E36, and then we're going to bring in a new model, E36 for the V8 version. And if you guys want to know, we're just going to give out all the spoilers today. We're going to custom make the E36 for the V8 model, and it's going to have, and I don't care what you guys say. Last time I spoiled something in chat, you guys were all booing me, so I don't care. You can't change my mind on this one. It's going to be a Eurofighter E36. So it's going to have the E92 Eurofighter kit, but it's going to be an E36.
Okay, I fuck with that. That's sick. And Chucho got the win, by the way.
Yes, yes. So Chucho got the win, everybody.
And I believe that finishes off our
That does.
group.
That closes out Group A for round 2. We're going to have Group B come in. Group B is going to consist of Curiosity, No Pants Coin, Havoc, No Name, Psy, Cubkib, Hassan Selik, and MZ Intex.
Yes, the LS car is getting the Euro kit.
Yes, the LS E36 is getting the Euro kit. Correct. The current E36 is going to go back to a 2J. Sir?
Did you see the F80? Well, the F3, F30, F80, whatever you want to call it, HGK kit that Drift HQ had put together? Oh my god, it is disgusting.
Yeah, I seen it. The F22?
No, it's an F80. So it's the M3. So it's the 4-door M3, and then it's basically on the F30 chassis, which is the cheaper version.
Huh.
Yeah, it is.
I've seen it. It was definitely sick. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get the camera positioned for the guys coming in for practice. So that's currently what's happening. As Group B is joining the server, they're gonna get a few laps of practice in before we go ahead and send them for their battles. But we're gonna go ahead and hang out and talk with you guys.
Just so everyone is aware, I will be making an announcement later today, But if anyone was interested in the team tandem stuff, the dates are official, and we have the track and the layout already all figured out. So it will be July 20th is going to be our comp date, which is a Sunday at 2 p.m. And cars need to be turned in by July 12th. And then the track will be US Air. But if you're looking for more information on that, there will be an announcement after the competition today. And you can also find more information about that in the Team Tandem section of our ADL Discord.
Correct. So Team Tandems is this new thing that we're introducing to ADL, which is and the community in general, because I don't think anybody really does anything like it. So it's basically kind of like a final bout style, where we're going to have a car show before the battles go on, and then after that is going to be teams of no less than 3. So you have to have at least three members of your team to do it. And after that is going to be battles of, like I said, teams of no less than 3, where you guys are going to go and run basically the smoothest, closest tandems you possibly can on the section of track designated for the tandems. And then we're probably going to introduce some other stuff too along the lines of like backies and 360s and stuff. We'll have to see though, depending on how much time we have. We don't want it to go on for too long, obviously. So, but yeah, let us know what you guys think. Data does not matter. The only thing is it can't have more than 500 horsepower. The limit is 500 horsepower. But we want to see, or what was it, 250 to 400 or 250 to 500?
250 to 500
Yes.
brake horsepower, so that does make a difference. So yeah, 250 to 500 brake horsepower. It does not matter the tire, does not matter the car pack, does not matter the data, other than the 250 to 500 horsepower. That is
Correct.
the only thing.
Yep. So if you don't like your car, it's on you.
Pretty much, because you can do whatever you want. There's no reason why you can't do it. The car packs will, for your team, will need to be put together as one unit for acceptance. So when you go to initiate or put your car pack in, just make sure that your whole team is within that as well. So there's no separate cars. But again, everything that you need to know is already in the Discord, minus the dates and the track. But everything will be posted up later today, and I'm super excited about it. I've heard that there's a few people that have tried doing final bout style competitions and have failed, unfortunately. And I think a lot of it has to do with, everyone wants to try and make it where they have to run their cars or their data or whatever the case may be. And that's a lot of hassle at the end of the day for the staff along with the drivers. And to be able to just do whatever and you have such free reign really makes it a lot more accessible, I feel.
Yeah, I do too. Plus, I don't know. I think a lot of it too is just it's hard to organize events like that. It's alongside that, it's hard to get people interested in something like that. If a lot of guys just want to hop on the sim, like for something like that, at least they just want to hop on and drive with their buddies and not really think too much about an event for that kind of style. You know what I mean? Like they'd rather do something like that in real life. You know what I mean? But I think if you go about it the right way in a Seto, it could really be cool. Like having something like that virtually, I think it would be awesome. And then like for the guys that have like VR headsets and stuff, like you can legitimately get out and go walk the track. Like there's a mod that allows you to walk in a Seto, and I mean you can do that. You can go, well, not a mod, I should say. It only works in single player, so you can't do it live in the server. But so scratch that. But if you have a VR headset, you can walk within the bounds of wherever you park your car, within a reasonable distance. So
absolutely. And I mean, I think that the first event might be a little bit of a struggle to go off at the end of the day, but I think that there's a lot more capability for this to be something that's really cool, because it's going to bring out the creative side to people that really want to get in depth with it. And it, at the same token, it caters also to the people that are super casual about it.
VR cars and coffee with tandems. Exactly. You get it. See? Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Love it. VR cars and coffee.
It's a little more than that, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like we're about to get our first battle for Group B underway. We got Curiosity against No Pants. Coin. Curiosity or Drake in the C7 personal livery. Both drivers actually C7 custom livery, so I don't know what I'm saying. C7 looking like it's going to be one of them cars that's a popular choice, and it's weird because we tamed it down. So from what the C7 was before, it was very aggressive, very just jaw-wrenching and like gritty and raw. And I tamed it down a good bit, and it seems to be a little bit more popular. So that's interesting to see.
We did hear though that the C7 had the most accurate physics when it came down to what it was like in real life.
Well, I mean, I think that kind of there's a lot that goes into that, like setup, and I don't think everybody has driven every chassis. You know what I mean? So, it's kind of hard to know like what all is going to be exactly realistic. You know what I mean? Unless you have like pro drivers for every single chassis. Testing each car. I mean, I don't think there's any real way to like know that's exactly what that feels like. But. C7
Right.
is definitely a good car. I'm not trying to take anything away from any of them by any means. I think they're all good, for sure. But anyway, Coin laying down a solid lead run. Didn't quite fill outer zone 4 like he should have, or 3. I'm sorry. Tire drop on outer 4, and then looked like he went a little bit over in outer zone 5. But Drake had a Curiosity, really solid lead there from Curiosity.
Yeah, those were good runs overall. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And Legacy, I do know who Steve Morris is, and that is going to be a very interesting car when it's done. We'll see how it does. The big block Chevy in a F22. All motor, like some 8,000 or 9,000 horsepower or RPM horsepower. That'd be crazy. Are you there, Shift?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. It was quiet.
Sorry, I was yeah, that's okay. That's what I was checking. So it seemed as though Terran's computer did not like him, had an argument with him again, and he disconnected, so I was just making sure he was getting back in within a reasonable time. Oh, sorry, I just realized the replay's still running. I apologize, everybody. We're still waiting for a call to come back from the judges.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not a judge today. I'm not gonna lie. It's oh, we got a winner.
And there we have it. Curiosity gets the win. Or Drake.
It definitely did not kill the cat today.
All right, so that's 2 no pants guys that have gone out of this round so far. It's not looking good for them. They were coming out swinging. Auggie still top 8. He's moved on. We'll see. I think there's still one more to go. No. Oh no, that was the last.
I think that was the last one.
That was the last. The last of the no pants guys. Thank you guys all for coming out. Honestly, I hope you guys are enjoying your first event. Sorry for all the hiccups in the beginning. I promise it's not always like that. It's honestly never like that. At least not in the beginning of the event. So do definitely apologize for that. But lots of stuff leading up to this event. Lots of hours worked on my end. So that's not an excuse. I'm not making an excuse, but I just didn't have a lot of time to set up for this event. So that honestly doesn't help with the technical issues though. But here we go. We got Havoc in the lead, No Name in the chase. Both drivers in that R34. Havoc nice and smooth so far. No Name trying to tuck in that pocket, looking like he's struggling a little bit. Oh, tucked right in the pocket there. A little bit of a bump there. Havoc keeping it together, staying on track for the most part, not making out to outer zone 4 due to being off track. But both drivers make it to the line.
It's awesome to see the R34 being used a lot, which is awesome because I felt like the R34. We didn't have an R34 before. This is the first time, correct?
No, we had an R34 before. It was,
But it was the sedan again, wasn't it?
yeah, it was the same exact model.
Oh, I'm retarded. I apologize.
Oh, no, you're good. Here we go. We got No Name in the lead this time. Havoc in the chase. Havoc cutting that inner clip hard to keep proximity. No Name nice and wide and smooth so far in his lead. Putting that car exactly where he needs to. Havoc trying to get that proximity back. Little hiccup there from Havoc. No Name not quite filling outer zone 3. Really good in outer zone 4. One of the more difficult zones to get right. And then perfect in outer zone 5.
Havoc definitely had a little bit of issues when it came down to the super tight section of that outer zone 2. And it really looked like, or outer zone 3, I apologize. And it looked like that was the cause of a little bit of a straighten, it looked like, in the chase. So we'll see what happens with the judges. Yeah, I find it crazy that now that I drive an R34 in person, all I want to, in real life, all I want to do is drive R34 in the game now.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's the car you have in real life. That's how it's going to be whenever I eventually get my own, you know. Granted, your car isn't a drift car, but, you know,
No.
eventually I'm going to get a drift car, and that's all I'm going to want to do is drive, you know, my drift car in the game. Everything I build is just going to, for myself at least, is just going to be whatever I have in real life.
Yeah. Be like
Right.
time flies and have 100 SN95s.
Yeah, I'm going to do my own, like, custom data for it and stuff and make it super, super, super spicy. You know what I mean?
I do. I'm a little excited that we didn't have a 1M in the Pro Pack, I'm not going to lie, in our Elite Pack.
Why is that?
Because it gives me... Ooh, one more time. Nice. So the reason why I'm excited about it is because I really enjoy driving that car as my pro car for the year, for our 25 or for 2025. But I like the ability to jump in other cars, and I still would probably end up driving either the 34 or the S13 blower car because they're just more comfortable for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have my favorites in the Pro Pack for sure, that I usually stick to. I try to drive as many as I can just because I try to give them all love. You know what I mean? But I definitely have my favorites. You know, everybody's going to have their favorites, so. But here we go. We got our one more time battle underway. We got Havoc in the lead again. No Name in the chase. Drivers initiate. Havoc perfect on that inner clip.
Definitely cleaning it up.
Ooh, looked like there was an awkward slowdown there from... I'm not quite sure what exactly happened there. It looked like there was an awkward slowdown from the lead car, but maybe No Name was just being a little aggressive. Yeah, but the decel is technically before the zone, and it seemed as though that decel was still inside of the zone. True. We'll have to see. I'm not... Man... No Name just completely taking out the semaphore there. He absolutely obliterates Havoc, and then he takes out the start light too.
I wonder if he's the culprit for all of our mishaps lately in the pits.
Oh, I don't know.
I doubt it. I'm just teasing. No, CJ, there will not be a 1M coming to the Pro Pack.
All right, here we go. No Name in the lead this time. Looking like Havoc kind of got left on the start. I'm wondering if I didn't quite catch it, but I'm wondering if No Name didn't manji through the cones like he was supposed to. But super smooth lead here from No Name so far. Havoc just not quite able to make that proximity back up, and No Name just letting that RB ring.
Shift's gonna have to get a Stagia now. Call it the man van. Yo, dude, I'm pro getting him getting a Stagia.
Listen, if you can convince the wife for me to get a Stagia, then
What's the criteria? Does it need to be manual? Does it need to be
it
automatic?
would 100% need to be manual.
Okay.
100% need to be manual. Oh, a Pulsar would be sick.
Yeah, but a Pulsar's small though, unfortunately. And then with like you know, you coming into a family at this point, like it kind of changes that aspect.
Yeah, Stagia would be pretty baller. I ain't gonna lie.
They're definitely affordable as long as you're not looking for 260 RSs. So,
Well, I would want to drift it.
well, right. So that would rule out a 260 RS because that's all-wheel drive. The 260 RS is basically the GTR version of the Stagia.
Ah,
So if you're looking for like a 25T or maybe like a, what is it, a Daisy?
now the E36 wagon I can get behind. That yeah,
Those are so hard to come by.
yeah, it is. You're right.
Teller comes with cup holders.
All right, Havoc getting the win. Moving on.
Congratulations, Havoc. Man, now I'm gonna be looking for stages for you. I just want you to know that.
All right. All right, our next battle is going to be 925 Sai against Cubkib.
Cubkib's doing pretty good for being pretty new to the events. This is his like second or third event that he's been to. So it's pretty exciting to see him continuing to show up and doing really well.
All the GSX guys, there's a handful of them that come out and compete, and all of them are pretty good, I would say.
Man,
925 Sai, 925 Sai, first event with us, rocking the BRZ. Welcome, my man.
Mad props to the G6 guys. That chrome livery is so good.
Yeah, the GSX IS chrome livery is really good.
That's a hard one to get right.
Yeah, but Sai, very good initiation there from Sai and that BRZ. Cubkib trying to tuck into that pocket, cutting a little bit of the line to get up in the to get in there. Sai so far with a really smooth lead run here, putting that car exactly where he needs to. I know that BRZ is definitely one of the harder cars to drive. It's very, very what's the word I'm looking for? It's so
mechanically gripped.
Yeah, like it's every little input in the wheel like makes a difference. Like, you know how like sometimes you can the wheel feels like it'll have play or something like that, you know, like you can steer it and it won't really make a big adjustment. Well, in the BRZ, like you feel every little tiny minute adjustment. Oh, and then Sai killing Cubkib on initiation. I'm not sure if Cubkib slowed too much or maybe Sai just wasn't expecting him to slow as much as he did. But there was definitely contact there, and it's up to the judges to see what exactly happened to make that event transpire.
TJ says he agrees it's very snappy and aggressive, and it gets angry when it's not driven gently.
Yes, it's a dance with the BRZ. It's hard to get right, for sure.
Check some garage. I'm just checking out all these liveries. They're so fun to look at, considering they're so different from what we usually run on all of our cars, and I love every second of it.
Yeah, the personal liveries are cool. We'll check out this custom livery on the S15 here. The GSIX livery. Super good job, whoever made this one.
Not gonna lie, I do like the check some garage. That's a pretty funny
Yeah, that's a funny sticker.
Yeah.
All right, waiting on the judges to get back with a call for us. And then after this battle will be the last battle of top 16. It's going to be Hassan, who I do believe this is his first event ever. 925 Sai and Hassan, both their first events.
All right, just letting you know we are redoing that run because Cubkib lagged very hard.
Oh.
Who lagged?
Cubkib.
Oh, okay. All right.
So Cubkib had a big lag spike, and we are going to redo the last run, which would be him in the lead. So that would make a lot of sense on why he got extremely bullied into the initiation and outer zone 1.
Yep. So it appears as though we're running the second run back. So we got Cubkib in the lead, Sai in the chase. All right, much better this time around. Cubkib pretty tight on inner one, maybe a little too tight. Sai giving him a little maybe a little bit too much respect. Maybe thinking he was going to lag again. Not quite having as much proximity as we'd like to see, and then Sai giving a little bump there. Maybe on Sai's screen, Cubkib is just doing a little shimmy.
A little bit of a glitchy dance. It happens.
All right, so
I'd say overall, though, that was a pretty good lead.
Yeah, not too bad. Here is the updated
replays.
Replay, yeah.
Yeah, I might have to ask you some questions about replay stuff later.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that as fun as it is to have the item in my trunk play the radio, I think it'd be cooler to just be set on a replay. But I don't know if that's a possibility.
It might be able to. All right, and there we have it. Cubkib is going to get the win. He's going to move on.
Oh, CJ, I've got more than trunk music in my team car. You just wait.
Yeah, I think a replay would be cool. There might be a way to do it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I might have shown you. Wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, it works at the moment, but it only works for me. It doesn't work for anyone else. So it kind of like it's cool, but not that cool. So it would be nice to see if I could, or if doing replays would be a functional item, but it might be something that has to be put into the track beforehand.
Maybe. All right, here we go. We got our last battle of top 16. We got Hassan Selik against MZ Intex, both drivers in the Heat 36. Hassan not quite making it wide enough on that inner clip. MZ Intex dropping tire, going off track. Super unfortunate for him. He was just being a little too aggressive, and I've done that myself in practice a few times. Hassan, though, dropping 2 tires right there, so maybe there's some hope left for MZ Intex, because Hassan definitely had dropped 2 tires in the third outside zone.
A lot of little mess ups that it seems like a lot of people have been catching a lot of gremlins throughout the track, unfortunately. And I think that's just due to how aggressive the cars are on such a tight technical track.
It could be, but I've definitely done that myself multiple times in practice with the guys, where I was just too tight on that. I didn't allow myself any room to transition, and I got caught up on the door, got caught in the pocket, and by the time I actually had enough room to transition, I was already too far gone. I was too far off track, so or I was already off track, basically, is what I meant to say.
Yeah, it happens so quickly with these cars. It's so fast that it's hard to make that adjustment on the, and not mess up, unfortunately.
Right. Yes. All right, here we go. We're gonna get them running for their second run. MZ and Tex in the lead this time. Hassan in the chase. MZ and Tex with a big correction there for MZ and Tex on initiation. But Hassan, same as before, giving a little too much respect, not quite having the proximity that the judges, I'm sure, would like to see.
He's tightening it up.
Yeah, he is. MZ and Tex really smooth in outer zone 3, hitting it nearly perfectly. One of the best we've seen all day.
That definitely could have been a nerves thing, unfortunately, because MZ and Tex did a really good job earlier in competition today.
I think he was just going a little too hard, and didn't allow himself any room to transition, unfortunately.
It happens. Also, Miles, commenting on the chat. No, I definitely agree. I can't wait for the team liveries to get all finished up, so that way we can get a lot more photos and clips together. Start posting them. Has Team Pure figured out what they're going to do? The other half of the situation for ADL?
No, dog. I have been living at work aside from my bed for the most part, so.
It happens. It surely does.
All right, waiting for the judges to come back with a call. All right, there we go. Hassan is going to get the win and move on. Very unfortunate for MZ Intex. You hate to see it.
Hassan.
Yep. Congratulations to Hassan as well. You don't hate to see guys move on, obviously.
No.
You hate to see guys that you see come often to the events, get eliminated. I don't know MZ Intex personally, but I've seen him at a lot of the events, so I want to see him do good.
No, exactly. I only want the best for all of the drivers in our league to come out and do well, and sometimes it's just not in the cards, unfortunately. I mean, a good example would be Miles Skids came out and destroyed in an LA Canyons event in our street cars last year, and has been struggling to maintain this year. So it happens.
Well, he also doesn't have a rig at the moment, so.
Well, he does now. He didn't for like 6 months.
Yeah. It does happen. Sometimes you hit your golden streak and you're just unstoppable, and there's other times where you just can't seem to link two corners together properly. So, but we are moving on to the Great 8. We got Slammed against Auggie, and then we got Drift Sauce Cody against Chucho, and then we got Curiosity or Drake against Havoc, and then we got Cubkib against Hassan. Should be in for some good battles.
No pants cars.
It is. We still got 2 no pants guys.
Wow. Congratulations for Team No Pants.
They're going against each other though, so.
Yeah, well, one of them's going to have to go down.
Yep, they both can't move on.
Someone's going to have to put pants on eventually.
So, so we should, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I don't want to give it the commentator's curse, but we should hopefully for first battle be in for a really good one, having teammates drive against each other. So
right,
usually when you see guys that are teammates go against each other, it's a pretty good one.
Usually, because they drive together a lot more often, so you know what they're going to do, and you can trust their initiations and their braking zones and whatnot. That's a lot of what this comes down to, and I think that's what makes our events so much more fun, is because even though there's a lot of people that are new, there are still people that are veterans that come in here, and when you have that kind of new versus old, I guess is the way I'm going to put it, you don't have that trust in those drivers, so you end up with such a mixed bag of competitors that it makes these events extremely exciting to watch as a viewer, as a commentator, as a judge, even as a driver.
Right. Agreed. But we definitely appreciate all you guys tuning in with us today, and any future viewers that are going to be watching this at a later date. We appreciate you guys giving us the view and tuning in and just keeping the event. It means a lot to us. If you guys are interested in competing yourselves, then go ahead and check the Discord. That's where we host our events out of. It's definitely, I think, I recommend it. I think it's worth looking into. Not gonna lie, if I was a competitor, I would be competing at ADL. Not trying to boast, but I would compete here.
It's the most accessible. I mean, you hear about all the big names, ESDA and CNDS and VDC and so forth, but you have to qualify, and you need to be, you need to be able to get into those events to start with, and then you're stuck in that series. And with the ability to just come and go with these, it makes it a lot more accessible for drivers.
Yeah, I mean, you can literally just sign up on your phone, sign up for the bracket on your phone, and then, you know, you don't even have to put in practice. You can just show up the day of the event if you wanted to.
We don't recommend that.
No, it's not recommended, but I mean, you could.
But it definitely could be done.
All right. We're going to let them get a couple more laps of practice since this is the final group to come in of the event. There we go. We got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes of practice left before we get down to the brass tacks, the last few battles, the ones that everybody comes to see. Hopefully, what you hope for, the most exciting ones of the day.
Well, I mean, by this point, you've weeded out a lot of the bad drivers, unfortunately. And I hate putting it that way, but I mean, just there are other drivers that are just better, and that's part of it. You get better as you go along.
Yeah,
so,
you know, being open entry, you know, and realistically, we've always, so ADL has always been more geared towards the newer driver. You know, our car packs were more geared towards newer guys. You know, they were easy to drive, and everything was, it's open entry, you know. We're always in the Discord. We're literally on, well, usually we're on every night, chatting up with the fellas and, you know, giving advice and tips and help people out wherever we can. You know, so we've always been geared towards the newer guys to the community. But we've noticed that it was always the same guys coming out to the events. And lately, since we've actually been updating stuff, it's been that we've actually been seeing a lot of new faces. But we were mainly just with the original packs, the OG packs. We were getting a lot of the same faces every event, and everybody was just getting so good with the cars because they were so easy to drive. So
yeah, and that made a huge difference. You would see guys just show up to a really good example, our street pack, and then just dominate the entire course, and you haven't seen them in any of the servers the entire week prior,
right,
or before.
Yeah, so go ahead.
I think the update with the physics and the update to the packs overall is definitely giving the drivers the ability to have to drive these cars. Well, it's not the ability, the need.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's more, you definitely have to, you know, come in and get at least some practice in, you know, even the guys that are better, you know, you have to come in at least get a few laps of practice in to get a tune in and whatnot and all that. So it's no longer a matter of just being able to sign up and show up. So you can still do that, but you're probably not going to be a top dog like you would normally be. But
yeah. That's unfortunately the way that it's going, and I don't say unfortunately in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. You know, it's nice to see that people are putting in the time and effort and wanting to drive our cars and get better at them. It's also exciting. I think a lot of the exposure that we're getting is due to the being able to be featured on Vosan. Thank you, Vosan, one of our newer sponsors. Very excited to have you a part of the group.
Absolutely. Yep.
Here we go.
Our first battle for Grade 8. Teammates.
Slammed against crime.
Slammed against Auggie. Here we go. C7 against A80. Slammed in the lead. Wow. So far, very smooth runs from both of these guys. Auggie right in the pocket, slammed. Really smooth lead run. Auggie, a little bit of an awkward surge there on that transition up the hill, but super tight on his door there in outer zone 3. Fell back off though. I think he might have choked himself up being that close.
That probably could have been what happened, but I'm not gonna lie to you, that was impressive. To be able, I was pretty much speechless the whole run. It was crazy to see the amount of proximity that was being shown, and this is what happens when you have teammates drive against each other.
Yep. So we'll see what they can do this time around as they get flipped around. I'm sorry. Oh, the light was doing some awkward thing there. I wasn't able to see it for most of the start. All right, here we go. Auggie in the lead. Really good on the entry and enter clip 1. Filled outer zone 2, very nice. Slammed right on the pocket. Auggie being nice and smooth in the lead here. Slammed right on the door of Auggie, just like Auggie was when they were flipped around. And Slam sucking up on the door. Hard surge at the very end of the track from Slammed.
What a great way to start out our top 8. This is our grade 8. This is exciting. Exciting driving, guys.
I do apologize for the replay on the first run. I thought I clicked the button to start the replay, but I did not. I apologize. Started just a tad late.
Yeah, so come to find out that Auggie, I believe is his name, is from Finland, I believe, or Sweden.
I thought he was from somewhere. I heard the accent, and
yeah,
you know, usually I'd like to ask people where they're from, but sometimes I feel like it can be kind of rude. So right. I didn't ask him, but I definitely could tell he was from somewhere. But that's awesome. I love having guys from other countries compete.
Yeah, so the rest of the No Pants team, I believe, is all based in the U.S. minus Auggie, and you know, him being out of country and still driving together. That just shows the commitment, because the time zones are wild.
Yeah, they are. They for sure are. And Slam is going to get the win and move on, so maybe Augie's going to be able to get some sleep. If it's bedtime for him, at least nighttime where he's at. All right, our next battle.
No, it doesn't have their name above their cars, so that would have to be the A80 is the guy that is from Sweden or Finland or wherever the case may be.
All right, we got Drift Sauce Cody against Chucho up next. All right, drivers are making their way to the line. All right, here we go. Cody in the lead, Chucho in the chase. Cody looked like he tried to flick it hard, but didn't quite flick the car super hard, or like he wanted to. A little bit of a stumble there going into outer zone 2. Nice and smooth so far, though. Chucho trying to stay close to him, maybe playing a little bit safe. Seeing as Cody just made a mistake here.
Yeah, Cody had a little bit of some bobbles. It looked like he kind of, you know, he took it interclip 1 pretty shallow and ended up bodying it pretty hard, unfortunately. And then it looked like he had that big mistake down in outer zone 2. And that really kind of made Chucho kind of choke up and kind of take a step back and go, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. Chucho kind of stepped back to evaluate, you know, the situation and, you know, what he was going to do, and then he just wasn't able to get the proximity back towards the end of the track. But Chucho, nice and wide there on that inner clip. He hit it, but then he kind of coasted out a little bit wide, and just throwing lots of angle, lots of speed. Chucho throwing down a baller lead line here, but putting that car exactly where he needs to. Oh, a little bit of a tire drop there from Chucho. But really solid lead there from Chucho.
Hopefully that tire drop wasn't a 2-tire drop. To leave that up to the judges.
I don't think it was 2. Well, I mean, we'll have to see. We can see here in the replay. But I don't believe that it was 2.
Just by the replay speeds, you can see the difference in the speed of each car as well.
Yeah.
From the leads.
Yeah, he still had smoke coming from the right tire, so it was definitely only 1, but still unfortunate to have a tire drop nonetheless. We'll see what the judges say. Yeah, it looked like Cody had that little bit of an awkward wiggle, we'll call it, on initiation there, and then the same thing happened when he was going into outer zone 2.
Right.
Just a little tiny, maybe it's just like the side bite of the car. You know, all the extra grip added to the track, because we do have that still set to where it has the extra grip additive set. It's nowhere near as aggressive as it was before, but it is still there. So maybe, you know, the car's just getting a little bit more grip, you know, towards the end of the event. And there we have it. Chucho's going to move on. He gets the win. But the car's just kind of fighting him on the transition a little bit is what it seemed like. So looked like maybe Chucho kind of caught wind of that the first run and utilized it and was super aggressive there on the second one and just really sending it, being super wide of that E36 and throwing all the angle.
I think it was a smart move by him as well to notice that and then check up and make sure that he's clear.
Smart move indeed on his part. But here we have Drake or Curiosity against Havoc.
Kind of feel bad for anyone that has the name Drake these days.
Yeah, well,
I mean, they're not that Drake, but
yeah. Here we go. Drake perfect on outer one and inner clip one as well. Havoc tucking right in the pocket there. Drake super smooth in his lead so far, very precise, putting it right where he needs to, right on that line. Wow. Filling outer zone 3 nearly perfectly. Havoc right there with him though, stayed in the pocket almost the whole way, falling off there towards the end, but stayed right there with him almost the whole entire way.
That last part of the track is very difficult to maintain proximity with as well, because at that point you checked up so hard.
What's up, Aaron?
The speed just lays right in.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over
you're
here.
Fine.
All right, Havoc in the lead, Drake in the chase. Havoc using the rumbles on initiation, like we said, we're allowed in drivers meeting, one of the first ones to take advantage of it today. And as you can see, nice and wide, nice and smooth there from Havoc in the lead. Drake trying to play catch up here. Let's see if he can tuck in the pocket here in outer zone 3. He does. A little bit of almost a stall there from Drake. Definitely an interesting battle here. We'll have to see what the judges say, but exciting battle. One of the more exciting battles, I'd say, of the day.
Yeah, this might be battle of the day. I mean, we got some more coming, but this is exciting to see. At the end of the day, like, these drivers are definitely laying down solid, clean leads, and the chases are right there where they need to be as well. So this is good stuff.
This is indeed good stuff. Been good, man. Things are good, Aaron. You see how they're going? You see what we're up to? How are you? How are things with you? I know you got a car in real life. I do believe it was a 180, really, like a pro 180. I think it was, if I recall correctly.
That'd be nice. Nice pro 180 to go hop in when you're not on the sim.
Right? I do believe he is from another country as well. I want to say Ireland or Scotland or something like that.
I know the Red Bull team guys out here that are coming to our servers lately, our races. Oh, we got a winner.
All right, Drake gets the win.
But they're from Ireland, I believe.
All right, our last battle for grade 8 is Cubkib against Hassan. We're moving on to the semifinals.
I got good hopes on this. Hassan really laid down a solid run in his top 16. And Cubkib's been doing really good the entire event. So he's had to fight his way to get here. That's for sure.
I agree. I think Cubkib, he's a heavy hitter, man. He definitely puts up some good battles whenever he comes out and competes with us. Waiting for them to make it to the line. Here comes Cubkib. I switched the camera a little early. I apologize, everybody.
We got some comments from Aaron as well.
Awesome. Definitely come out and join again, man. Come out and compete if your ping isn't bad. All right, but here we go. We got Cubkib in the lead, Hassan in the chase.
Looks like Cubkib did not give the Auggie.
Big flick there from Cubkib. Very smooth. Hassan right in the pocket of Cubkib, though. Not let him go anywhere. No breathing room. Hassan really has an 836 dialed. He is tattooing the door of Cubkib everywhere they go. Awesome lead, smooth lead there from Cubkib. Just what you want to see in the grade 8.
Yeah, definitely a good lead. Like I said, it looked like he had an issue with the Manji at the start. We don't know what's going to happen from that transpire. And then it looks like he had a little bit of a tire drop at the end of outer zone 3.
Not too bad though.
No, it really isn't.
All right, here we go. Hassan in the lead, Cubkib in the chase. Big flick there from Hassan too. Kind of body and inner clip 1. Not quite being wide, or not quite going wide enough on it. Nice and wide, filling outer zone 2 just like he should. A little wide on the inner clip 2. Flicking it hard into outer zone 3. And Cubkib, he had that safe but competitive proximity that we've been talking about in the last few events the whole time.
The Manji may not be much of an issue this battle due to the fact that both of them did not do it. From my view, at least. We'll see in the replays if I was right or wrong. And it looks like I was right. So we'll see what happens.
Tire drops.
No, they did not Manji on the start.
Oh, well, if they both didn't do it, then I guess it's kind of a wash. It is what it is. But
right.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that the start guy should be throwing a restart on. You know, it's kind of hard on our end to relay the message, you know, quickly enough. So, but I mean, neither one of them also seemed like they got choked up too much from it. So.
No, there definitely didn't seem to be any mistakes thankfully on that. You know, usually when we were seeing the no Manji ordeal, you would see a massive gap between the lead and chase due to not being able to do that Manji. And we have it one more time. Maybe
yes,
they'll clean
sir.
up their Manji.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, Aaron. These are our cars. This is actually the beta pack. So we're updating them right now. We're trying to get a little bit more of a realistic feeling out of them. So. Right now, this is our beta pack released. There's going to be, I don't know how many cars there's going to be in the pack when it gets released, but right now there's right now there's 15 in the beta pack. So if you want to try them out, you're more than welcome to. They're in the Discord. Discord is linked down below.
No problem, Cody. We'll definitely see you next round. Thanks for coming out and coming out and trying to take that top spot. We're glad to have you.
Absolutely, man. Always welcome to come back. We hope you come back to all the events. If you're curious what the next one is, check the comp information, the schedule posted in there. But Cubkib in the lead again this time around, and very, very aggressive lead from Cubkib so far. Absolutely massive flick on entry, and then just nice and wide and trying to be as fast as he can so far. But Hassan definitely he gave him 2 bumps that I seen throughout that run, so Hassan was definitely sending it a little hard as well.
Well, he had to play catch up because, again, like I was talking about, that Manji issue is definitely the problem right now, and he did not Manji again.
Well,
we'll see if it is going to make a difference here in a moment.
it seems as though that might be getting, yep, they're going to rerun that because of that, I do believe. Yep. So we told them in the drivers meeting that if they continue to do that, like if they're warned, you know, once about it, and then they continue to do it, that they would be getting a 0 for their lead run. So let's just hope that they can stop doing that. I know it hasn't been extremely strictly enforced today, but if it's being like this, then we'll have to definitely enforce that.
I mean, it kind of sucks that you can see like the lines that people are just out here just drag racing through the start.
Yep.
Wow.
As soon as that happened again, but it is what it is. Hassan is right there. right there with him. So far, Cubkib's kind of the same lead he's had before. Super aggressive, super snappy, and lots of angle from so far. Hassan trying to tuck in the pocket the best he can without bumping him. Definitely does a much better job this time around by giving him room. But yeah, Cubkib definitely just launching out of the gate again, like we were saying. So
yeah,
we'll see what.
Sorry to be the downer about all of this. It's just one of those things that definitely makes a huge difference when you're trying to chase somebody who isn't giving that manji the appropriate amount.
Yeah, no, it is. And, you know, you can't even really be upset with Hassan about it because he's just giving it right back. So,
right.
But here we have it. Both drivers are right there with him on initiation, so it is what it is. But Cubkib absolutely tattooing his door. Not quite bumping him, though, like Hassan did. But Cubkib trying to give him the chase of his life. Hassan with a super smooth lead here so far, putting that car right where he needs to. Very good lead there from Hassan.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know where I would go if I was the judge in this situation, but it's not my call.
Yeah, I mean, technically they could run it back because it was the second time, but I got a feeling it would just happen again.
Well, I mean, Hassan gave more of an effort, at least it looked like, to give a little bit of a manji there. Like, he actually turned his wheels left a little bit, unlike unlike it seemed to be with the G6 car. So if that's the case, then, you know, I would be leaning more towards Hassan due to that being a massive error that was specifically called out. So, but
Right.
again, I'm not in the judge's shoes today, thankfully. It is a difficult job to come out here and judge, but it's an enjoyable, rewarding job, I will say. And Hassan is going to get the win.
Hassan moves on to the semifinals. Yes, judging can be very stressful, but also very rewarding at the same time. You know, it's always rewarding? Commentating. Don't have to worry about any of that.
Absolutely.
All right, and for the drivers who are listening, Slam, Chucho, Curiosity, and Hassan, we are having a third place battle. So for those of you, if you lose your battle, stay in the server, please, so that way we can have a third place battle. But our next battle is going to be Slammed against Chucho. Slam, the final member of the No Pants Drift team, still with us in that C7. We'll see what he is able to do against Chucho this time around. Chucho has definitely been on fire all event, and as I say that, Chucho with some sort of odd mistake there, going out, washing out a little bit wide, surging up hard, trying to get that proximity back. We'll see what he can do. And Slam just laying down a nice lead run. And Chucho giving a little bit of a tap there and sending Slammed off track. Looked like Sam was left foot braking, and Chucho was trying to be super aggressive and just wasn't a good combination.
Yeah, it looked like Chucho, when he came into the chase position and they came into entry, it looked like Slam gave a lot more angle than Chucho was prepared for.
All right, here we go. Driver slipped around. Chucho in the lead. Big flick there from Chucho. Nice and fluid, nice and fast. Chucho really loving that 836, it seems like. Trying to give Slam a run for his money. Really trying to impress the judges. And Slam a little choked up on that transition there. Chucho doing his best, but Slam's taking right there with him as they make it to the line.
Yeah, Slam did a really good job trying to maintain proximity. You can tell that E36 is fast. And that is definitely where you can see like these issues of choking up in the outer zone 3, because you end up seeing people trying to shallow up in the chase to gain that proximity back, and it ends up hurting them every time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the E36 is fast as much as it was just the way Chucho was driving it. I think he was just giving it everything he had, just letting it eat, because I feel like he felt like he was kind of in a deficit. So I think he was just really just giving it everything that he could. And he definitely did that. For sure did that.
Yeah, Batman, I'm interested to see how that's gonna go as well.
Yeah, man, looking at the replay, not quite sure how that contact happened. Looked like it was just caused from Chucho being a little bit too inside, not quite at the same angle, and that's a bad part of the track to be not matching angles. So, all right, here we go. Slam gets the win. He's gonna move on. Team No Pants moves on to the finals. We'll have Chucho go and battle whoever is eliminated in this next one for third place.
Drake and Hassan.
Jerk cheering on Team No Pants in chat. All right, we got Drake against Hassan.
Guess it turns out the C7 was the car for the day. Two of them in top 4.
2 E36s too.
Oh yeah.
All right. Drake throwing down that nice smooth lead line that he has been all day, and Hassan trying to tuck right in that pocket. He does. Nice and smooth on the transition up the hill, and Hassan right on the door, tire to tire, going into the outer zone 3, and Hassan falling right back in the pocket of Drake. Wow, Hassan, super aggressive driver. I love to see it.
Yeah, Hassan was super duper aggressive coming into that outer zone, and I think he struggled because he was not prepared for how aggressive he was being, and it ended up kind of choking him up a little bit. But that was a phenomenal chase run, if you ask me, other than that part. Let's see how he does with clean air out in front. Hassan out there killing it in outer zone 1. Inner clip looking really good, and he's maintaining a little shallow in the entry half of outer zone 2, but maintaining it. Coming through inner clip 2, good. Outer zone 3, right where he needed to be. Keeping the momentum up. Outer zone 4 is looking clean as well. Comes into the last outer zone, and look at that. Nice and tidy.
Very tidy. Also, awesome chase there from Drake.
Definitely going to be a good one for the judges to go ahead and deliberate against. Overall, the fact that these cars, both drivers, killing it. Doing a wonderful job.
Yes, they definitely put on a show, and they have all day. Hassan's been killing it. Curiosity's been killing it all day. So definitely excited to see these two guys go against each other. Hassan just a little too aggressive in his chase, where he kind of he was a little too impatient, I think, is all it was.
It could have been the case. It could have been just a little bit of impatience. It could have been him just trying to make sure that he didn't leave it in the judges' hands and it was a clear-cut win, and him just trying to be very aggressive, and it might have bit him a little bit.
Very well could have. Or it could be nerves. You never know. You know? Could be a combination of things.
The pressure could be getting to him. That is true. This is top 4.
Yeah. Yeah. It got here a lot quicker than we thought.
If we're used to, yeah.
Yeah.
Usually we're like finishing out our like top 16 right now.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, this time, yeah, that's about this time, yeah. All right, there we have it. Hassan moves on, so we're gonna have Drake go against Chucho for third place. Hassan's gonna move on to the finals.
Congratulations, Hassan. Congratulations to all of our top 4 drivers for
absolutely
just out here slaying all day.
3 of the drivers in the semifinals are new drivers. First ever event here at ADL, so huge props to you guys. Chucho, thank you. Obviously, you know, this isn't your first event, but thank you for coming back, man, and driving like you always do. antagonists and reels. You know, we see all that stuff on Instagram. You know, that's one thing I will say about this new beta pack is that there's been a lot of social media posts with them. So
a lot of people sharing our stuff. That's good.
Yeah, a lot of social media interactions with the beta pack. So, and with the street cars, lots of people are liking the new street cars as well. So that's awesome. But here we go, Chucho against Drake for third place. Chucho putting that car right where he needs to so far. A little bit of an awkward start down there from Chucho. Looked like he tried to make his correction after being bumped by Drake, and Drake giving another little bump. Chucho back online. Let's see what Drake can do. Can he tuck back in that pocket? I don't think he's going to be able to as they cross the line.
That was a pretty good lead, minus that little bit of a mess up in outer zone 2 from Chucho. We'll see what Drake has to do when he's got nobody in front of him. You know, maybe that could have been the cause here, is that, you know, Chucho was just checking up, unfortunately.
Yeah, it did look like Chucho had some sort of an awkward wobble or stumble or something going into outer 2, so big flick from Drake. Chucho right on his door on initiation, but had to back off, give him some room, had to reevaluate the situation. Drake being nice and smooth. Yeah, fell right back in the pocket. Oh, giving Drake a little bump. Big bump. Started with a small one, and then he came back in to finish it.
Hey, this isn't Mortal Kombat, guys. We need to keep it together.
Yeah, he did. The new Mortal Kombat has friendships, and that's not what that was.
Does it really have friendships?
Yeah, instead of a fatality, you can do a friendship. And basically it does like a song and dance, and then it says friendship instead of fatality.
That's too My Little Pony for me. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's funny.
I remember back in the days, you know, because I'm a lot older than a lot of people may assume that I am, and I remember back in the days playing like Killer Instinct and Mortal Kombat on arcade.
Oh yeah, dude, Killer Instinct was my jam. Calamcito, you should do it, man. Do it. You don't even need a VR. You can just get a cheap monitor. Well, you know, you don't even. The monitor I have. Well, I mean, depending on what your definition of cheap is, I consider it kind of cheap. Not cheap, but kind of cheap. My monitor was $230 from Walmart. It's a 32-inch curved monitor, and it's great. I love it. So.
Yeah, I have 3 24-inch monitors. I paid $300 total for all of them. They were $100 each. So there's definitely ways you can do this on a budget. The rest of my sim is unfortunately not that way.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I mean, you can get an Oculus Quest 2. You can find them on, you know, OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace for under $100 all day long. So,
I mean, even like, you know, stuff $150 is definitely still worth it.
Yeah, so, I think if you've never experienced a Seto in VR, it's one of them things that I think you should definitely try.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody. A lot of people do have a lot of motion sickness issues and things like that, but it takes a little bit of time getting used to if you can do it and getting your settings right. And man, it's pretty fun.
All right, well, I just noticed that my phone is on 1%, so if I don't interact with the chat for the remainder of the comp, we only got one more battle after this, so it's not like it's a lot longer, but if I don't interact with the chat, then you guys know why.
I will inform you of the important stuff, I guess.
Okay. All right, well, we're still waiting on a call to come through from our third place battle with Chucho against Drake. Great to see the E36 and the C7 continue to be used, continue to be people's favorites. That's how absolutely. It was on the previous pack. Oh, we have a one more time, third place battle. I am not mad about it at all. Let's get it, boys.
No, that was definitely very worthy of an OMT. No, I agree, Havoc. The G920 is definitely a lot difficult to drift with, but it's not always the case at the end of the day, because you can end up, some people do pretty decent on a G920 or G29, wherever you want to call it, but at the end of the day, getting a nice wheel makes a massive difference. It did for me, and it does for almost everyone else.
Hey, Shift, you're still stuck on the replay.
Yeah, I just took it down. I seen it when
Okay.
I flipped over. My bad. My bad, guys.
No. Sometimes not having money to play around with is the way you get into this. So I started on a G920 as well. No stress.
All right, here we go. Chucho in the lead again, and the E36. Drake in the chase for third place. Chucho being very aggressive, dropping tire. Chucho just sent it a little too hard. Looks like he's gonna go ahead and man it out and finish this run. Drake's gonna do his best to tuck back up in the pocket of Chucho to finish out this run.
But still, you know, he still has to. There's still another lead that has to happen, and there could be a massive mess up, and we could be seeing another OMT, which I think might be, at least this year, it's the first third place double OMT if it happens.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know just yet. You know, we don't know what's gonna happen, but anything's possible, I guess. But here we go, Drake in the lead this time around. Big flick there from Drake. Nice on that inner clip. Chucho right in his pocket, right on the door. Definitely leaving tire marks, at least in that first, on the entry of the track. Maybe playing a little bit safe here. Chucho falling way inside, but Drake putting that car right where he needs to. Really good in the outer zone 4 and perfect in the outer zone 5. Chucho, I think, doing exactly what he needed to in that chase to
try and keep it in check. Trying to overcome the issue in his lead. But I mean, that's what happens though. You make an issue in the lead and you start pushing real hard in the chase to try and make up for it. Hopefully cause the lead driver to have an issue.
All right. We wait to see what the judges say for our third place battle. And there you have it. Drake is going to get the win.
Congratulations,
Drake. Take third place. Congratulations, Drake, on your podium, my friend. And our last and final battle of the day, we got slammed against Hassan.
Corvette on E36 Crime again.
We got two drivers who have been absolutely crushing it all day long. We'll see what they can do.
And this is also a all brand new driver final.
It is. It is. Congratulations to these two drivers.
Man, I'm excited. Oof.
All right, here we go. Drivers are off. Slamming the lead. Hassan on the chase. Slammed with a massive flick on initiation. Almost perfect in the inner clip 1. Nice and safe on the transition into outer zone 2. Hassan trying to tuck in that pocket. Bumper to bumper on that transition up the hill. And Slam just absolutely just giving this C7 all the beans. That C7, wow. I don't think I heard that C7 off limiter one time around the track. He just absolutely let that thing eat.
That's kind of the way you have to do it when you start detuning these cars to make it through this track. You just have to stay on throttle.
Yeah, you got to basically turn this, you know, 1100 horsepower, 1000 horsepower car into a 600 horsepower car. So, but here we go. We got Hassan in the lead this time, slammed in the chase. We'll see what they can do for the last run of the event. Unless it goes one more time. Hassan putting that car right where he needs to on the lead and on the initiation. Very good in the outer zone 2, but slammed right in the pocket. Oh, hard surge, awkward surge there from Slam. Hassan dropping tire in outer zone 3. Let's see what Slam can do. Can he surge up on the door? Hassan across the line. That's been his signature move all day. That last final hard, heavy surge right before the line.
I don't even know what to say right now. Like, I'm pretty sure that if that might have been a 2-tire drop from Hassan.
I think that it was. He definitely sent it really wide and outer zone 3. So super unfortunate if that is going to be the deciding factor. Very unfortunate to go out that way. when you've been driving like Hassan has all day, but that's motorsports, man. That's what happens. But
it really is.
He's had a great day, so I wouldn't be mad if I was him.
There's no way to complain. There really isn't. Man, this is exciting stuff, guys.
Definitely was a good battle to finish out for sure. Big props to both these guys.
So while they're finishing up their judging, again, if you were interested in any of that team tandem stuff, guys, just make sure that you check the Discord. In a little while here, it'll be posted up in our announcements tab.
Yep, there will be an announcement about the team tandems just shortly, briefly after this event is finalized for the team tandem event. And there we have it. No Pants is going to get the win. Slammed is going to bring home the No Pants first ever Assetto Drift League dub. Congratulations, buddy.
Wow. Congratulations to Hassan as well. You know, it's a big feat taking out everybody out to get towards the top. This mountain isn't small.
No, it's not. It can be a pretty daunting task to tackle the bracket and to climb it like Slam did and Hassan did. So big props to all these guys. Thank you everybody who showed up. Thank you to all the drivers who came out. Thank you to all the spectators watching in chat. It means a lot to us. All of our sponsors, Vosen, Revolution Drift Club, ATDT, BDB, Slush, Team Pure, Sleight of Hand Drift Team, Pods Mods, all of our sponsors, thank you guys so much. It means a lot to us that you guys want to be associated with the Assetto Drift League. It looks like they are going ahead and running a tandem train for the podium.
That might be the clip right in there.
We'll go ahead and get the last little bit of it here. But congratulations to Slammed from Team No Pants for his victory today, Hassan for second place, and Drake for his third place. And then, like I was saying, thank you everybody for your participation in today's event. It means a lot to us. If you want to catch the next event, be sure to tune into the Discord, which is linked in the description. An invite to it is where there is a schedule posted for all of our future events for the remaining of the year. All the way up until December. We don't know when the events will be then, or if there even will be events during that time due to the holidays and such. But yeah, if you want to get involved, you want to compete, go ahead, peep the Discord, check it out. It's worth it, I think. And then if you are interested in being a part of the testing and stuff and giving us feedback on the cars, the Discord is also where you do that. You head over there and download the beta pack, and then there's channels for feedback that you can give us. And then last and final shout out, well, two, I guess, Nuke Drop, one last time for creating this beautiful, lovely track for us to hold this event at today. And then also the guys over at Precision Drift, Nick Stacy, he is the one that runs Precision Drift, and he holds these events in real life. So get in contact with him on Instagram. That's Nick Stacy, where you can actually go and get involved in events at this track in real life. So yeah, I do think that's it. Cupcake, you have anything that you want to close out the event with for today?
No, but keep it casual, guys. This is fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, like he was saying, be sure to check the Discord for the team tandem stuff that is coming up. It should be lots of fun. Like we were saying, it's that final bout style of drifting that is not quite in Assetto. So if it's something that you would like to get into, then head over to the Discord and check it out for yourself. We are going to do our first event July 20th, I do believe that we decided. Correct. Yes. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed it. We're going to go ahead and send you guys to one last little short commercial break or commercial, and then we're going to finish. The live stream will end after that. But thank you guys for tuning in. Catch you in the next one.
Father's Day.
Yes, happy Father's Day. I forgot about that. Yes, happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. Should have started the stream with that, but I think I did actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good to let everyone else know that's still here.
Yeah, but happy Father's Day to all you guys out there. All you guys that are fathers at least. And then we'll catch you guys in the next one. Next event will be 3 weeks from now, so we'll catch you then. Be sure to tune in. See ya.